and happy to be here to join in with everybody on these conversations.
Yeah, it kind of works out really, really good because I'm just going to share my screen for a second. We started going over marketing for October, and there's so much stuff to do for marketing in October. Yesterday we had a tough time filling in all the weeks, so we had to do a couple things on each week, going from anywhere from breast cancer awareness to Halloween party, pumpkin tournament, tailgating, all kinds of stuff. And of course, being Bully Awareness Month, that was on top of our list. So as I help rainmakers with their consultant, we tried to put together their marketing strategies a month ahead of time. So we started talking about what they can do for Bully Awareness Month. And you had sent me a link to a couple days ago. So I was hoping to get some of your ideas. One of the things that I try to do is get the schools so their students are 100% involved. I try to get the parents involved. And of course, we try to reach out in the community. So one of the things that we did last year is we did our events on a regular school day. So it was like a Wednesday, and every class during Wednesday had something to do with bully prevention. What we did is we made it mandatory for the kids. So all the kids, because it's such an important issue, not only affects them personally, but how it affects the school, that everyone had to come to this day. And I talked to the parents. I go, parents, you got to be here too because you have an active role in stand up against bullying. And if we're really going to impact the community and really make a difference, everyone should bring at least one friend. So class, the whole day was really, really packed. So I started presenting this idea yesterday. Steve DiCastillo goes, wow, that's pretty cool. We need more stuff. We need stuff to market this. So I kind of reached out to you and thought maybe you can share some of the things that I'm doing because you guys are like way ahead of everyone on this. So.
Well, thank you so much. So I'm happy to be here and to share in some of the knowledge base of what we've collected over the last few years when we launched the Hyper Bully Defense program in general. I know many people have been to our training sessions before, as well as even just seen some of the things that we do online. And what we did when we were looking at creating the Hyper Bully Defense program in general was we saw obviously the need, right? Like it's in the news all the time. We know that bullying can have really just devastating effects on kids of all ages. And when we dove into the education side of it, we found that not only is there this need from within there's a few different needs, right? There's the need to educate the parents because people of an older generation, which are the parents, have a specific thing that they maybe think what bullying looks like, and that may not be relevant for what's happening in schools in 2018 specifically. So there's a big learning curve in that side of it. The second part for educating parents is that we find that parents maybe think that it's not a problem, right? Like, oh, my kid doesn't get bullied. So I don't have a need for this, for this type of education or this type of a course. And what we find is that, unfortunately, those people are just maybe, in the dark about things, or they don't realize how prevalent bullying is, within either their child's lives or the friends that their children are interacting with. And so, as a community service style event and as a service as educators for us as martial arts instructors, I feel that we have an obligation and a commitment to really, if we're going to, be committed to leadership skills and building confidence, that we educate the parents as well as the students on not only the devastating effects of bullying, but ways that, you can either stand up for yourself or stand up for others, within your classroom or within your community as well. So the education piece, like you mentioned, is very important. And then we see that. And so we've created some tools specifically for that. And as you were mentioning, there's an important place where you can insert those into your regular curriculum. And obviously being more prevalent in the month of September and October, it's really prevalent because kids are, going back to school for the first time. And what I like from what you were saying is like, yes, adding that into, your regular classes as like your coach's huddle can be very important, as well as, your new student orientation times as well. So we looked at the education side of it and what the devastating effects of what bullying can do. And so we created a curriculum that helps to educate the parents as well as the students, as well as direct actionable style workshops that you can host then throughout the month of October. You can host them obviously throughout the year, but the reason that we focus on October specifically is because it's nationally, Pacer International has created it as Bully Awareness and Bully Prevention Month. And so we're able to team up with other like-minded organizations within the community, which makes it obviously easier, to be creating content on social media, teaming up with other local partners like your school system, local, youth organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, church organizations, things like that. So we're all speaking the same language and having the same level of commitment and a larger, wider reach on things. Specifically. So will this allow me to share my screen, Mr. Silva?
Sure. Just go towards the bottom. A green bar should show up.
Yeah, so it just says, there you go.
Share mine, yeah.
Got it. Okay, so I do have some things here that way I can just kind of stay on track specifically. All right, can you see my screen there?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we created was obviously like the education side of things. So we have, a 3-4 part system with when we created the Hyper Bully Defense program so we could reach different types and different ways within our community. So number one is our education piece, and that can happen at any point and any time. The next part of it is our bully defense workshops, right? And I know this isn't a new thing, right? Martial arts schools for years and years have been doing bully defense workshops or self-defense style workshops for kids. But the angle that we wanted to create with this was something that was one that you could do as a free community service style event, right? A way that we can give back to our community, because we find that, event-based marketing is great, right? Like bringing new people into your school so they can see exactly what it is that you're doing and test drive your programs is great. So getting more people in and having opportunities for them to bring a friend and refer people to your school is a great way to build it. But number two is, what are the free community events that you're hosting that help you to be able to partner with other nonprofits, help you to be able to partner with other like-minded organizations, and then partner with your school system, right? I know many martial arts school owners in the past have gone out, done paid events, or they do events that are more specifically tied specifically to their one location and about being the best martial arts school in your community, which I'm sure that you are. But that isn't necessarily relevant for creating a partnership with, with a local school. So we wanted to create these events as big open house community style events where we can bring together everyone, and it just happens to be there at your martial arts school. Now, what happens at that open house and that workshop event is you run through a bully defense workshop. You run through the self-defense, through the education piece. You do different, parent drills and interactive style training. And then at the end of that event is when you have the opportunity to, what most schools would have done in the past is just present their, their black belt club program or their white belt introductory program. And what we found is that was really a disconnect, right? Like all of these people have come into your martial arts school because they've either found that bullying is a problem within their child's life and they need specific tools to be able to know how to prevent that, or they're a parent that's just looking for education on how they can be more educated on how they can support their child. And they go through this great course. It's specifically focused on bully defense, but then, kind of the thing that's then presented to them at the end of that is a white belt class, right? And what's that white belt class really look like? It's like high blocks, low blocks, punches, and things that aren't going to be specifically in the interim step or in the immediate future, something that's going to be relevant for that kid to either stand up for themselves and be confident right away, right? Like we know that through your martial arts journey and through your martial arts training, that builds that confidence to know to be able to stand up for yourself. But if I'm a kid coming in, or if I'm a parent coming in with my kid and they just needed some basic self-defense and ways that they can protect themselves, or verbal de-escalation techniques, we want to make sure that we're providing and have an opportunity to provide a course that's a regular basis, like a 1 day a week bully defense course, as an introductory program to your martial arts school. So the second thing that we created beyond the workshop is this 12-week bully defense season, which goes through the basis of the basis of self-defense, as well as has weekly coaches huddles that are specifically built for educating people on, the locations of where bullying occurs, so that kids can know to, stay away from those places. What is, educating things on educating the parents and the kids on what their rights are, on where bullying, where bullying happens by the grades, the 4 different types of bullying. So they know the difference between verbal bullying, indirect and social bullying, physical bullying. And what's most prevalent today is cyberbullying, anything that uses technology, whether it's through social media, chat rooms, things like that, through video games even now that people are being cyberbullied. So it's really just that education piece and doing that on a regular basis in a weekly workshop, or excuse me, in a weekly class that we found was the most relevant. So we now have something beyond just a one-day workshop that now can be an introductory program. So we find that being really relevant for everyone that comes in and is a good springboard to your regular program, right? So it's not, all right, sign up, bring everybody in for this workshop and then sign them up for this Taekwondo or Tang Soo Do karate program, whatever. It's enroll them, give them the opportunity to enroll in the bully defense course, as well as in that bully defense 12-week season, they have the opportunity to obviously to come in and check out your regular program as well. And we find that most people will, after the first few weeks, they're really hooked. They really like, the physical side of the training. And then, you can give them the opportunity to go ahead and start into your regular martial arts program, because that's what, many people are looking to do with these courses. So there's kind of, those are the 3 main parts to the Hyper Bully Defense program. And I can kind of get into a little bit more detail in that as well. And how we really facilitate that. But number 1, it's education, right? We provide all the tools for educating your community, educating yourself, right? Educating yourself and the instructors, your staff and the parents on what bullying is and what you can do to transform that. And they'll give you all the media support that goes along with that. So then part 2 is the one-day workshops, and those one-day workshops are normally hosted in October. We're encouraging everyone to host them on the 3rd week of October, just so that we have kind of a group effort and we can support each other in it. But as you mentioned, you can host them at any point, right? You can host them for members, in the middle of the week during your white belt introductory class. This week, week 2 in October could be your bully defense education or your bully awareness course specifically. And then the 3rd part to the program is that 12-week bully defense season. So giving everyone an opportunity to have a structured curriculum that you can host as an introductory program for your martial arts students. And I like to fill that up, not only with the people that are, coming from the workshop, but then why not give it as a value add for anybody that's in your regular martial arts class as well, right? As a bonus for your people that have recently upgraded their program or recently enrolled in your program, right? Anyone that could be interested in that, you can invite them at no extra cost to add this 1-day-a-week bully defense course. And we find that schools host those bully defense courses 2 to 3 times per year on that 12-week season. So it's a big value add in there as well. And then beyond that, the guts of the program we've got other awareness programs. We're getting ready to do a big revamp and a launch on Thursday for some new educational materials on a bully awareness kind of consumer-facing program, as well as we have a bully defense advocate program where we encourage, where we give you the scripted full package on where students can go in and do their own 10-minute presentation within their classrooms in the spring and be an advocate against bullying. We give them 10 ways to end bullying in their classroom and to create a team of advocates within their school. And we find that that's a really fun way to build leadership and character development skills, as well as it becomes a great value add for the community, right? Like there's nothing tied to paying for it. It's really you as the educator are inspiring other people, inspiring your students to go out in the community. And we find that the teachers are very thankful for that and opens up a lot of communication and dialogue and invitations for then the instructors to go back in at another time and do school talks on their own, which just becomes another way to be fully ingrained into your community as well.
Jason, I think a lot of people here are really buying into it. They really want to do it. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows how important this is, but a lot of people have tried bully-proof classes before, and attendance just isn't that good. So how do we get the kids to want to go so they don't think they're going to be around other kids that are just getting bullied? It's just going to be a small group where they think all of a sudden this is something I want to do. It's going to be fun, learn something. I mean, how do we get people to really come?
Perfect. Well, that's a great question, because, you know, like it even goes back to that education point, right? Of like, well, what is bullying, and the understanding of and inspiring people of this course isn't just for people that are being bullied right now, right? And bullying comes in your education point of it isn't if bullying is going to affect my child or if bullying is going to affect me. It's when is it going to affect you, right? I mean, all of us, even as adults, we see bullying online, right? Like we see it within workplaces. You know, we see it in many different aspects. And so that's where, like, the month of September, and, you know, what we're doing now is really that education and inspiring people to help end bullying in general. And the way that we do that, number one, is we have what we call the pledge to end bullying. And this is something that we do school-wide with both, you know, for every member of your school, every staff member, and every parent, is we ask them, oh, you know, we're setting out, and, you know, this is kind of like an ad hoc, you know, mat chat that I would do. But, you know, if I was, you know, at Mr. Castillo's school, and I, you know, we'd get everybody there at the end of class, or say, hey, everyone, you know, the month of October, I know, you know, we know that is, you know, National Bully Awareness and Bully Prevention Month. And here at our school, we want to help take a stand against bullying. And for that, we're going to all get together and fill out these pledge cards. And we give everyone this pledge card here. You can print it out, nice quarter page a pledge. And they pledge, you know, through your education, right? Like, so you've built your education. You're talking about the downsides to bullying, and, you know, you get everyone really enrolled in, you know, yes, I want to be an upstander against bullying. I think that bullying is I know that bullying is a terrible thing. And so together as a community, we're going to take a stand, and we're going to all pledge. Against to take a stand against bullying. So you see here on the screen, there's one of the pledge cards. The kids just fill it out. You can have, you know, they go over with their parents, and they all fill one of these out. They put their name on it. And what we do with this is we create what we call the wall of change. And you'll see here, this is schools that have used this wall of change and use these promises, right? So they're promising to take a stand against bullying. And, you know, this doesn't take much prompting, right? Like, everyone sees the benefit and the value of this. And what you do is you either on the front mirrors or the front windows, we start putting all of these pledge cards up. And our goal is to cover that entire board, that entire section, as well as everyone snap a picture with their pledge card. And both kids and parents make this pledge specifically. And we find this is a really powerful tool, because then it becomes top of mind for everybody, right? And so it's right there that they all see it's very powerful. At the same time with that, then you can roll out, obviously, putting in the workshop time, when you're going to be doing this workshop. And you can host different contests as well. This is just an example of an internal marketing event where you can, you know, have different prizes for people that are attending the event. Everyone gets one of the wristbands. If they bring a friend, you know, they get the special Live Your Life t-shirt that everyone sees. That's, you know, it doesn't say martial arts on it. It doesn't say I don't want to be a bully. It doesn't say against bullying. It just specifically, it's an empowering message of living your life. And so that's a fun way that we created that as well. And then we have different prizes that we're giving out there at the open house and workshop style event as well. So with those two things, as well as the passes that we have here to specifically invite to everyone. So I guess that's 3 things. With those 3 things, we find that these open house events can really thrive. And, you know, knowing that you have to be on your, you know, your registration page. Rainmaker is great because you guys can use those, and I always call them landing pages, but the profit generator pages that you can set up your event on there. So, you know, your Facebook event's set up, and, you know, you're marketing and posting that out there, but the link to register for tickets is going directly through your Rainmaker. You're sending out your emails, you're sending out your invitations, and really, you know, use all of your tools, all of the media and marketing tools at your disposal to really fill up these events. But at the same time, nothing beats that person-to-person connection, right? And that pledge wall and that pledge card is a great way to really just get it top of mind. And just with some simple mat chats leading up and talking about, you know, the devastating effects of it and what you can do together as a community to really make a transformation in your school and in your community. I really see that people can that they get behind it, right? There's no question that they're going to get there, that they wouldn't want to get behind this type of a movement.
One of the things that I would think is, in fact, I had a conversation with Roland probably 5 years ago. We're out in California to some type of show, and we're just talking about what to actually do at these events so it doesn't become like a therapy session, but the kids actually feel empowered or having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see like building this confidence is really what's going to build the confidence in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you have everything people should be
Yeah, I mean, from the curriculum side of things, like there's so many different, there's multiple different bully defense courses that are out there. We just honed in on our, physical side of it, as well as the presentation, to give everyone all of the tools that they would need to really just follow through with the course. Courses range in time, depending on age, from an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's really about half physical and half presentation. We have the full bully defense like PowerPoint presentation, so you can follow directly along with that. So there's a visual guide for people to see. But because you're hosting it there at your martial arts school, you can do the physical side of the self-defense style training on there, as well as the role playing, back and forth. But it's really interactive. It encourages everyone to have a friend there, so they feel really confident. But yeah, we have all of the curriculum all laid out for you. To be able to participate in that, or to be able to facilitate that. That's what I meant to say.
Is this a separate module that people can, if some people aren't doing hyper already and they're really kind of interested in this? I love that 12-week session. I thought that was brilliant because I can see where everyone makes a mistake by going, okay, I got everyone excited, now I'm going to sell them something else.
Right. It's like you were like, all right, you just went in, you test drove a really nice car, and then at the end they're like, all right, well, by the way, all we have available today is bicycles.
Right.
And you're like, what? So yeah, having that opportunity to have a course, and the way that we do this is set up. We can get into some more details on it, in one of our private sessions or one of our training sessions. But basically, this program is included for all schools that are part of our Hyper Fight Club program. So they get access to all of the Hyper Bully defense materials all of the time. And the way that it works is basically in October, most people host their bully defense workshops. After that, they launch a 12-week bully defense season, which takes them through November, December, and January. February, they start prepping for what we call the Bully Defense Advocate program and the school talks. The kids go out in March and do their bully defense advocate talks on their own, which leads into a small springtime workshop that you can host there at your school. They bring their friends in for that. Then all of those friends are encouraged to start the next 12-week bully defense season, which takes them through April, May, and June. And then through the summer, June, July, and August is when you have your summer camps. And I like to just infuse the bully defense workshops inside your summer camps. Don't host a full bully defense summer camp, but you just add in an hour here, or add in some mat chats against bullying to keep it top of mind. And then August, September becomes your re-education time and really building up to that workshop. So we really created everything as a holistic style year-long program, so that way it all feeds off of each other. This isn't a just marketing tactic. This is a full-on program that you can facilitate and really educate your students and really take action and be an expert within your community with all of the materials.
Very, very cool. And the commercials, like you've done, the videos.
Yeah, I don't have them queued up, but yeah, there's a whole YouTube section. You can head to hyperbullyDefense.com. Be honest with you, this week we're actually doing a big revamp. So we haven't told anybody that we're doing that. We're doing a launch for all of our current members on Thursday this week. So if you head over to hyperbullyDefense.com, that's our student-facing website. So there's some free social media posts, and students can take the pledge, and anyone can do that, right? It's not limited to martial arts students or kids from your school. Anyone can register on there and be a part of the movement. They can follow the Facebook and Instagram channels or Instagram accounts. They can watch the videos on our YouTube channel. So it's all about modern media that keeps everybody connected in with it. So if you do head to Hyperbully Defense, you can see some of this stuff in action. But know that throughout this week, there's going to be some updates that are coming in to that as well. And anyone that's interested can hit me up, and I can get you an invite to our our client webinar that we're doing on Thursday for more of the preview of that launch, as well. So we do like to provide, free, tools specifically for the students. And then obviously the curriculum side of things, that's where it comes in. Being a member of Hyper, you get access to the curriculum and everything that's included with that.
Very good, sir. So
awesome. So yeah, any questions? Feel free to hit me up. Really, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I've traveled around, done different training workshops with instructors, and getting that feedback from them. Interacted with kids around the world that have sent us messages through Instagram and social media, and they're really thankful about what this is doing. Parents as well, and then everything from TV spots to really helping to spread this message. So, I really appreciate the opportunity to team up with you and Rainmaker. And, we have a lot of synergies within those tools, for people to be able to use these as well. And, just happy to be able to use the martial arts schools and schools like you guys that are on this to help us all leverage the bigger picture of what it is that we want to make an impact. And it's really, making that change within an individual's life. And if we can all just make an impact on one person's life, then all of the work that we do on this really is worth it as well. So I just threw up here some just different organizations that are making a difference. Not only is, what we're doing, I feel what we're doing is important with martial arts schools, but all these organizations, are doing great things as well. And then even our different partners within the martial arts industry that are that also have martial arts curriculums and programs and things as well. Everyone really gets together, and if we can all get together and team up, then we really make a big difference on it.
Excellent, sir.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. And this is one of those pieces, just one of those pieces within October. As you mentioned, there's so many different things that we can do in October.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so good. This is like the first month of the back to school that really is, you roll twice as many people as you normally do. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I'll put this recording up in about a half hour on the Rainmaker's Business Solutions.
Excellent. Well, I'll look forward to the next one.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. See you guys. Thanks for joining us.